I promise you guys, I love wearing the fro, but it's always giving me problems. It's giving slight messy, but we'll go with it. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Stacey the Intuitive. Thank you so much for joining me again today, or if you haven't been here before, welcome. So today I really wanted to just talk about something that came up for me recently, and see, I'm gonna keep touching it, and it's gonna bother me that you guys have to see me touching it, so just give me a second. So today I wanted to talk about something that came up for me recently, and I thought it might be helpful for anyone who like resonates with me in any way. So yeah, here we go. So the other day I was kind of going through a little bit of, I'm in this phase of everything where I'm really feeling like I'm shifting to this place of just being more in the vibration of like feeling good and feeling content and feeling like my life is like exactly as I want it to be. But then sometimes I have these moments of stepping out of presence, and I did talk about presence in a recent video, so if you haven't seen that, go ahead and watch. It might kind of help with this concept a little bit. But as we step more into that energy of presence and things like that, and the energy of receptivity, of manifestation, of just being in total alignment with the reality of our choosing, there is this element of trust and surrender that is required of us. So I just wanted to come here today and really talk about the energy of trust and surrender, and how to be more deeply within your trust and surrender of God, the divine, of source, of the universe, of all the inner workings, the multi-dimensions that are conspiring with you on your behalf in order to create the reality that you desire. So today's video might be a little bit quick, just because, it's going to be to the point. We don't really have any in-depth stories to go towards, but it is just a little bit of an energetic transmission that can kind of help some of you who are, struggling to surrender. So one of the biggest things for me in this journey was kind of learning that this reality that I'm creating for myself is a co-creation with the divine, and in anything that is done in cohesion with another, there must be an energetic balance of exchange, right? There must be an even and balanced energetic exchange. Your part, the divine's part. Now, obviously, there's this whole inner working of that, this whole overarching system of balance that works outside of our hands and stuff like that. But in what we can control, there is this level of trade-off with you and the divine that needs to have like this proper balance taking place. So for one thing, it's like, when you're working with the divine and stuff like that, trusting the divine to like usher things into your life, there needs to be an energetic balance of trust. Because if the divine is going to bring these things into your life, and if you are going to receive them, then there needs to be equal amounts of trust. The divine in your ability to handle it, and your ability to dedicate yourself to it, to be committed to it, and you and your trust of the divine to, believe that they will bring it into you, that it'll be exactly what you want, etc., etc., etc. Correct? So from this energetic exchange, there's oftentimes an imbalance on our behalf, which inevitably creates an imbalance on the divine's behalf. So I find myself sometimes, as I stabilize this energy of trust, like I'm really feeling like I'm being catapulted into this energy of surrender and trust completely. But I do find myself at times being like, I don't know, like, am I sure that this is something that I trust? Like, is this really happening, or what's really going on? You know what I mean? And so that is when, so I guess I just enter these moments where my trust of the divine is kind of wavering. And it's not to say that I don't believe in the divine, but I just kind of get attached to the desire or whatever have you. And so I get caught up in the like lack of belief in its manifestation, which oftentimes obviously has to do with our internal states, but there is an end of it that has to do with like what you believe it means to trust someone and why it is so hard to trust. You can also relate this to like your personal relationships and stuff like that, but for me it has to do with the divine. So when I was having this moment the other day, this big epiphany was brought to me, and I thought, wow, with this epiphany, like I should never have problems going forward as it relates to trust. Now obviously we never want to use like definitive words like that, like never, because obviously I could come into a phase or something like that where my trust is wavering. But I do feel with this this epiphany that I've had backing me, I feel like it'll be a lot easier to come back into alignment with my belief. So I was sitting there and I was like, it wasn't even about the fact that I didn't trust anymore. It was the fact that I kind of had came to this energy where I was kind of like, I keep on going to like these energetic highs. Personally, this is what I'm having. I'm going to like these energetic highs where I feel like so in flow, so trusting, so like in alignment, just feeling really good and like content and just in the present moment and stuff like that, knowing everything is working out. But then I might have one day where it's like, okay, that energy is like it's went down a little bit, and I'm not feeling as in flow. It's not to say that I'm not in flow. It just basically means, I've learned as of recently, for me, that means that I kind of need to take a break to rest and rejuvenate. Because when I'm in flow, I'm like really going. I'm getting things done. I'm like on go mode. But then these moments where I feel like I'm being less productive because of this notion that I have to do it all on my own, I'll find myself being like, oh my God, like, is it not working out, or can I not trust, or whatever? When on those days that I need to rest and stuff, those are the times that I need to be trusting the divine even more. You know what I mean? Those are the times that I need to be like, okay, I can rest. Like, let me give it over to the divine for today. Let me give them their space to do what needs to be done today. You know what I mean? And so I was having one of those moments where I was kind of being called to rest and stuff like that. But I was kind of like, if I'm not doing anything, how can I really trust that things are working out? You know, that's kind of where my mind was going. It's like, if I'm not doing anything, then how can I be in this energy of trust? If the actions I'm taking are not the things that are guiding this level of trust, then what is? And that really talks about that imbalance of masculine and feminine energy in my life. It's like my masculine energy feeling like it has to do, and kind of like devaluing the trust of the feminine energy and stuff like that, and how it can really cultivate this beautiful energy for creation in general. And so that was really being challenged of me when I was feeling this energy of just needing to rest, or kind of like just kind of be more passive rather than active, because that passive energy is that trusting feminine energy. And so I kind of was sitting and I was like asking the divine, like, so why does this happen? Like, why is this going on? Why do I kind of like start to doubt whenever I come to these places of just like slowing down my energy or whatever? And God and the divine are like, that's all you. Like, straight up, that's what was said to me. That's all you. Like, don't you realize that this is only happening within you? It's your trust that's wavering. God and divine still trust you, even though you're not doing anything today, even though you're relaxing today. God and divine are still on your side, still co-creating with you. It's you who backs out. It's you who's 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door. And I was like, whoa. So you're telling me that it's me. And then that kind of just like blew my mind a little bit. It was just so minute, but it blew my mind, because I was like, it's me. It's literally me who's like resisting just the trust in my day-to-day of the divine. It's me who's resisting the belief that the divine has my best interest at heart. And this really just comes from a place of like this hyper independence that I've grown up with or whatever, and feeling like if I don't have my best interest at heart, then no one will, or whatever, you know what I mean? And so it's like not feeling like the divine has my best interest at heart, when the divine is like the one power, the one thing in the world that I can trust to have like my best interest better than my own interest, because the divine supports me in even like conjuring up my own best interest. So it really came to this point where I was like, wait, what does it mean to me to like have trust then? What is trust to me? And I realized like trust is not being able to, you know, be in control of everything that's happening, the notion that I'll be in control of everything that's happening, but it's really just the ability to believe that whatever I'm trusting is always going to want the best for me, and is always going to usher in what is the best for me. And that understanding, although so minute, gave me this just larger understanding of the divine. And the trust of the divine really comes from the point that understanding that anything, any energy, any person, any circumstance, any delay, whatever confusion that comes in, the divine is supporting it and being something that'll support me in having my best interests manifested, whatever it is, my best interest. It's like they want the absolute best for me, and there is no disparity within that. None whatsoever. And I can trust that even if I'm feeling kind of down, or if I'm kind of feeling like I need to rest, that the divine is never putting me in a position to feel like, okay, this one day of rest is going to jeopardize everything, or that, oh, this delay is going to jeopardize everything. I have to know, like, and can trust that every single thing that's happening is for my highest and greatest good. And so it just allows you to see deeper into this lack of worry, this lack of like, you know, catastrophizing, and this lack of urgency and anxiety. It allows you to really just diminish those emotions, those lower vibrational emotions, and come to this present moment belief that like, oh my gosh, the divine has like my literal best interest. They want what is the absolute best for me. Like if there is a limit, they're trying to push beyond that limit to make sure that I have everything that I need and more. And the more that I trust that, the more that those things are able to be brought in, because I'm more receptive to every single occurrence that happens in my life. Say that I, get caught up in a traffic jam. If I'm in this resistant energy, feeling like it's happening against me, that obviously means that I don't have trust. But if I'm like, you know what, the divine is literally working everything out for me, then the divine is prompted to respond to that vibration rather than, the one where you don't have trust. Because then if you're not receptive, if your energy is not receptive, then there's an energetic disparity. The divine needs to be able to trust that, you will also accept and honor what it is that they're trying to offer to you, honor their energy, just as you want the divine to honor your energy as well, right? Like, honor the fact that you're putting your trust into the divine, even though it's scary and stuff like that. So like I was saying about the traffic example, if you're in traffic and you are more receptive to the notion that, okay, like the divine is like working it out for me, it's going to be fine, then I bet you, I promise you, I'm sure that the divine will respond in a way that shows you that you're correct in every single way, right? And we just need to be more willing and receptive to that energy, because that is where miracles can occur. Something that's been like my mantra lately, I've actually had two. One is, I don't need to know the how, I just need to know the beautiful what. As long as I can identify what it is that I desire, what it is that I need, I don't need to know how it's going to happen at all. And I don't need to know where it's going to come from. I don't need to know any of that. I just need to trust that if I have the idea of what it is that I desire, or what it is in general, it will come to me. But I don't need to know the how, and that takes pressure off of me. And then my other one has been, the unknown is where mystery and excitement can occur. Mystery and what is unknown is not necessarily bad. It doesn't mean that there's something scary there. It's where excitement and miracles can occur, because it's the unknown. So when we really just change the ways that we look at these energies, just small little tweaks, it shifts our entire reality. And so I feel like I've been having my reality shifted a lot. I've also just been like able to gain a little bit more spiritual strength just from these mentality shifts. Like today I kind of woke up and I was in a little bit of a weird energy, and but what I've been working on in the previous days was this form of trust. So whereas I might have been in this weird energy and kind of made assumptions about it normally, I was like, you know what, I've just really been trying to hone in this idea, like, if I'm here, this is where I'm supposed to be. And trust and behold, that's exactly where I was supposed to be. And it actually brought me this even larger shift. So it's just like all about the integration and stuff like that. You might be experiencing a little bit of like those ebbs and flows of energy, but when you come to the ebb again, those are moments of integration so that it can reinforce this newfound flow. And then it's even more, it's even deeper of a flow, even more profound of a flow, even more supported of a flow. You know what I mean? So everything's working out, guys. When you're really feeling in these energies of like lacking belief and trust, just recognize that it's literally you. It's only you who is causing this lack of trust. The other side is already doing their side. The divine's already doing its side. It's literally you. And that should just help you to really reinforce this notion that, oh wait, it's been me. Like, let me bring in this trust and know that this trust obviously supports me in getting what I want. So yeah, I hope that video made sense. This video made sense. It's kind of like a shorter one. Not even, it's still pretty long, but it just has a very direct concept to it. So I hope it made sense to someone. I hope it helped someone to kind of tune into this vibration a little bit, because it helped me when I realized it. So I hope it helped you guys too. I will see you next time, guys. Bye.